Rated TV MALV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Yes, welcome to the Player Supreme Show. I am your host, Player Supreme, at www.theplayersupremeshow.com. Got a question today. Fellow wants to know, how does he loosen up and have fun around females, flirting and things like that? When someone asks me a question like that, how do you loosen up around females, tells me that he is scared still of females. And that is the source of the problem, his fear of women. I suggest that person order the program that I just finished, Get Over Your Fear of Approaching, because that will deal with the initial fear of approaching women to begin with. And then you want to order the Conquer the Fear of Women program that I have. You are so inwardly focused still, despite all of my goddamn shows on outwardly focusing, that you're fucking yourself up inside, that you're still nervous around women. So if you ain't got what it takes to do this on your own, let me do it for you. Let me get into your mind and program you and reprogram you so that you're more relaxed around women. Your problem is you're still putting them up on the pussy pedestal. When guys put women up on the pussy pedestal, you're going to get nervous around them. You got to take them off the pussy pedestal. Forget about the pussy. Outwardly focus. You're only trying to make a friend. You have no problems making a male friend. Why make it any different because she's got the pussy? Take away the aspect of the pussy, and you'll see that your terror and your fear that you're holding inside, tight and nervous and shit will dissipate. Also, you mentioned relaxing and having fun and flirting. Okay, as I said, you're constantly concerned. As I've said about shy people before and people like that, you're constantly internally focused on you. You're constantly looking at how you're looking, which is a form of vanity. Let go of the vain shit. It ain't that serious. Don't take yourself that serious. One thing you might do that would be good for you is, two things actually, is one, public speaking, and two, take an acting class, preferably an improv type of class. This will teach you how to loosen up your body and your mind so you're more creative around other people in any situation. So you can find access to toastmastersinternational.com, look up for a class in your neighborhood, and secondly, to try some improv acting. And the third thing is order my programs. Let me get into your head and start reprogramming you. Because your basic thing is you're still afraid. And you need to get rid of your fear. Because it's only your fear that makes you choked up. Your fear of how you look. You're worried about, will I look stupid if I say this? Will she think I'm stupid if I suggest that? You need to let all that bullshit go. I'm a goddamn fool when it comes to being around my girl. I flip her lips. I burp in her face. I'm a total guy's guy. And I don't have any problems doing that. But I have said I've taken acting before, and I'm a public speaker, so I've learned how to let go of myself and not take myself so goddamn seriously all the time. Only time I'm serious is when I'm going in the course of direction of my life. Then I'm totally serious. But I like to have fun, so you want to be able to relax and have fun around them, and you got to take away that, as I said, the power of that pussy. It's the power of the pussy that you're so concerned with that it makes you so wrapped so tight. So let go of that and try those suggestions that I suggested to you. Oh, before I forget, I know some of you guys are really nerds. I mean, goddamn. And you're going to listen to me say, oh, I burp in her face. You're going to go out there trying farting and burping around women. Don't do that. Do what feels natural for you, but passing gas on them especially, save that for when you get into a relationship with them. Then you can pass gas and pull the covers up over the head all you want to, and rate the shit. But That's just an example of my own, relaxedness. I wouldn't do that to a girl who I just met. I'll flip her lips and playfully push her and tickle her and stuff like that. But basically, what I want to suggest is that my form of relaxation may not be your form of relaxation, but you got to relax and let go of the stress around the pussy.
Okay, now I just recently talked about being corny when you're spitting some game at a chick. There's also something you also got to watch out for, which is giving your power away. I'm reading a post on the forum where a new word seems to have popped up, sugar-backing. It's an old word that I put out one day, and now it seems to have picked up and snowballed itself. But sugar-macking actually is just when you spit out nice words to a girl. But a Mac, you have to remember, is always in control. He spits out nice words, but he keeps the power to himself, because that's what a Mac is about. He's about gaining the power over the girl. And be careful when you say something like, for you, baby, I would give everything. Your touch I crave, the feelings I would get. No, that is making it so that she has all the power to do this to you. You want to reverse that game and make it so that you have all the power. I know you crave my touch and all the feelings I can give you with that touch. That is how you reverse it. So you need to be careful in your language of when you're talking to girls, because that is pedestaling them. And remember, we're not about putting them on a pedestal here at Players University. Now, many of you guys have learned to actually go out there and conquer the pussy. I'm happy to see that Lee Majors had a good field report that he posted of where he met this lawyer chick and subsequently boned her. And if you guys get a chance, go ahead and read his field reports. Actually in the main section, but we'll move it over to the field reports. But look for Lee Majors' post. It was a very good one. He detailed the conversation flow that happened between them, and the words that she said and the words that he said and stuff like that. So it shows a good flow of conversation there. So if you guys do get a chance, go check that one out. One of the things that I'm becoming aware of is that my site is called Players University, or the Player Supreme Show, but very few people actually on the site have the potential to become actual players, because many of you guys have this moral thing going on within you that you don't want to cheat on a girl, and many of you want to try it the pimp tight way, which is where you tell a girl, hey, I'm seeing other girls, and I'm gonna if you want to see me, then come on, jump on my ship. And that works for a while. Then the female is going to blow. It's called cop and blow in the game. You catch her or you cop her, and eventually she's going to blow out. Because women, when they start seeing one man, they want to settle down into a relationship, which is the other part that the pimp tight game doesn't take advantage of. Unfortunately, when a female wants to settle down in a relationship, that means she doesn't want to be one of 5 other women. Women are programmed to seek out the man, as I called him, the man that will help her settle down, that will bear her young. It's in her genes. There's nothing you can do to fight that. That is why I use that as a tool to sell and motivate women, by appearing to be the man to them, by learning about what their criteria is. Once again, we're talking about getting her life story. Remember, I can't explain it enough. I cannot explain that enough, how much you got to get her life story, or basically find out about her, who it is that you're dealing with. What are her interests? What type of man is she looking for? Those are the things that you really, really, really need in your arsenal when you're dealing with that female. You have to find out as much as you can about her. From the time she was born, I don't care if you're 17 years of age and the girl's 17 or 16. She's at 16 years of life experiences. all of us have what's called life experiences. That means we've experienced things in life. So we've accrued a base of knowledge that we have within us based on the things that we've experienced. At 40, soon to be 48 years of age, I've got a hell of a lot of life experiences under my belt. But someone on the forum who's even older than I am, Silver, he's got even more life experiences. So no matter which female you're dealing with, she has life experiences. And when you meet a friend, that is what you guys exchange. One friend may bring up, yeah, I went roller skating one time, and then it triggers a memory within you of when you went roller skating, and you two share common experiences. You find common grounds. And that's all you're doing when you're marketing yourself to your women, is you're trying to find common grounds. As I said the other day, my last meditation tape is done. I will have it posted by the end of the week. Also, by the end of the week, I will have a collection of all of my favorite posts, either by myself or by other people that I really enjoyed reading, in a big PDF ebook. So you'll be able to read all of the posts that I've created over the years, over at Pimp Hop, over at So Suave, and from the Pimp Network. Those are the main ones right there that I've used to help teach other players, or when I was in the Pimp Network, how to teach guys how to have control over their women and stuff like that. And also I'll have a whole collection of my IM contacts that I was able to save before the virus ate most of my computer. It's not very many of them, but you've seen examples of the ones that there were. They're pretty powerful. And I will have as much stuff in my. It's basically I turned all of my files that I have on my computer, my own personal files that I read for my enjoyment, into a big ebook. And this thing is goddamn huge. I didn't realize I had that much stuff. But I had stuff on 2 different computers also. And I brought them together, and I have Adobe Professional. So I just had click that button. I put them all in alphabetical order and click the button, and they turned into an ebook. It's kind of cool. And it's kind of interesting to see how much stuff I've written about over the years. My State of Being post is in there, which a lot of fellows took a lot from. Because that one's about you have to be. A lot of guys, as I've talked about over the time I've been here, is that a lot of fellas, they want to pretend. They want to put on the mask of being this person or that person, and that is why they're getting rejected from the game. Women can sense it, and eventually, some guys, they're good enough at pretending that they actually get a date, but later on, their real face comes out. So in the state of being, I talk about you have to become. And that's where I got all my main ideas of what was wrong with fellas who are in the PUA community versus real players. Real players are real players. The guys in the PUA community are ex-nerds that got mad and wanted to get some pussy. So they put their little brains together and figured out all this. Actually, I believe it started with Ross Jeffries, and if you go back to the 70s, you'll see this started with Eric Weber. But then there was a big time gap of, I don't believe anyone produced any information on getting women after Eric Weber, and then Ross Jeffries came along, and he really pushed the community forward with the speed seduction stuff. And I've read his book, and it was some of the corniest shit I couldn't say that stuff, but as I said, you take it inside and you spit it out in your own language. So he may speak a higher evolved English than I do, but I wouldn't recommend someone who's 19 years of age trying to speak that high level of English that he talks about in that certain way. Like I keep seeing this kind of bullshit pop up on the forum and things that guys are saying to women. Regurgitate that stuff in your own language and think of her language. She's a female. If you're 18 years of age, she's a female who's raised on MTV and BET and stuff like that, and MySpace and internet communication. So she's not gonna speak that higher evolved language of that's I see in these speed seduction things. So you got to bring your language down. It's all about, as I started to say a moment ago, it's all about creating rapport with the other person, creating a common boundary or common grounds. And the more common grounds you can create, the more likely she is to come in your direction. Well, let me talk for a moment, because DJ Dan brought up on the forum, and not all of you guys who are listening to me go to the forum, obviously, with over 1,600 people listening to the show now. The subject is called submissiveness in women. Now, for a person like me, I'm very masculine, and I cannot tolerate the same in women. I don't want masculine women around me. Women who stand up to you are not even attracted to me. Some of you guys like women who will call you on your shit, and who the type who will give you a chance to be a man and dominate a situation. Well, for me, I dominate the situation 100% of the time. It's just, for me, it's just the way I am. As I wrote about, psych majors would say that I have control issues. And as I wrote about then, I say, okay, so, because I'm getting my dick sucked, and I'm getting what I need and want, so fuck it. But some fellas think that submissive women are not fiery, because some of you guys out there are attracted to fiery women who will be a challenge, who will get your balls all tight. And I say that you guys got a lot to learn. You guys think submissive women are weak. Women will bow to a powerful force and allow themselves to be submissive. Women who are submissive, they allow this. They let themselves become submissive to a certain male. If you ever study wolves, there's the alpha male, and he finds his alpha female. She is submissive to him, and they stay together. In nature, they stay together for life. That's one thing I like about wolves, because wolves are my favorite animal. But in humans, that is not true. We tend to float all over the place. But getting back on point, I realized when I wrote the post that there were a lot of low self-esteem women out there, but low self-esteem women have low energy, and they carry this darkness with them. They're like depressing to be around. But a real woman isn't afraid to bow to her man 100% of the time. And it takes inner strength for these women to get up under a man. And they have to earn it. One slip up in your masculinity, and they will kick your ass to the curb. When you're dealing with real women, they're looking for real men. And you can't pretend and act like a real man if you're not. They will see through your game and spit your ass out. So a lot of the freaks that you're looking at and trying to get at, they want real men before they settle down. A freak out there, she'll settle down with a real man, because that's enough masculine energy to satisfy her freakish nature. But if you let anything leak that you are not a real man, this bitch will cheat on you. She'll start challenging you. She'll start shit testing you. She'll do everything she can to drive your ass away, because you are not what she was looking for. Fiery women who want you to do this and that while fucking and want to take control in the bedroom, for me, are not even in my category. I've been with these, and for me it doesn't work. It's my controlling nature, and that's what I want to develop in all the rest of you fellas to some degree. I think because I don't allow much female energy to express itself within me, and that is why I'm super masculine and I'm super controlling. You know, I'm a leader, because I keep the female energy down. I don't let it grow within me. Although we all have a balance of yin and yang within us, I keep my female side energy way down there. Now, I think that a man's desire for these aggressive women is actually a symptom of all the changes that have occurred in mankind since the 60s. Back in the 60s, women start cutting their balls off. And I think the problem with a lot of the fellas who are listening to my show is that you're the end result of all this. And that's why you're losing your connection to women. There is a separation of male and female nowadays. And men don't know how to be men, as we've talked about before. And men have a trouble expressing their masculine side. It's got to the point where men are afraid to express their masculine side. They're afraid of rejection and getting slammed on by women who are now sitting there waiting for men to express their masculine side. So this whole movement, it's kind of backfired on both of us, male and female. And women are now pissed off. The real women out there hate feminists. If you talk to any real females out there, women who are very sensual and curvy and sexy, they hate feminism in women. And they know how to be a woman to a man. But now you fellas, a lot of you fellas, you have trouble expressing who you are inside. Have trouble expressing, that you even have a pair of nuts under you. And as I said, you're the end result of all this. It's taken that long to be programmed into the gene pool. And if you guys notice that people who come to the internet looking for answers, they're a very small percentage of the actual population out there. The rest of the population is fucking and not having a problem. There may be a lot of simps out there, but they're still getting laid. But the people who make it to the internet, you're the ones who something has been left out, and you're searching for answers. And what's been left out is right inside between your legs, your balls. It's right there within you, and that's all you have to get into. You don't need to go read every different technique out there just to be a man. You don't need the new Tyler Durden. You don't need the new MM. You don't need the new anything out there just to be a man. All you need is to wake up to who you really are, your real strength and your real power that is right inside of you. Now for me, I'm the type of man that I want my food made, I want my house clean, I want the table set, and my shit ready so that I can go back to my office and work on my business projects and do this show. I don't want no bullshit in my life. And that's what I created for myself. When it is time to go out and part, I want my women done up to the way that I like to see her. And I want her sitting by the door waiting for me when I'm ready to leave. That is how I live my life. If I want sex in the middle of the night, I don't want to be afraid to take it because women who have too much male energy will object and talk shit out the side of their motherfucking necks. I remember being with a few females who whined because I was taking the pussy in the middle of the night because I woke up horny. I've had women with that little bit of bite to them. And as I said, try to get sex in the middle of the night and heard them whining about being asleep. Fuck that. A woman is there for her man. Now, I want to ask you, are you a ruler in your life? Think about your own life. Are you the ruler of your universe? Or are you a beggar waiting for a motherfucking handout? Are you waiting for her to be in the mood to cook for you, clean for you, suck your dick, fuck you, make love to you, take care of you when you're sick, caress you. Because fiery women have to be in the mood to give. Submissive, strong women love to give. There is a difference. If your woman doesn't love doing things for you, she's not a good woman. But we must each find what works for us. Some of you guys, because of what has happened to mankind, you've got a lot of female energy up in you. That's why you're having trouble approaching and stuff like that. All those two sides will fight each other. As I told my one buddy that he needed to get control of that side of him, because the two sides will fight each other and it will always fuck up his game. But as I said earlier, I'm very masculine, which is why I and the women who have masculine energy in them find my situation not to what they want to be in. You have to find the balance that works for you, my fellas. If you have a bit of the female in you, then you might want to be with a female with a bit of male bite to her. As I said in my post, it's your life to live. My hope was to give you the masculine side of your energy and spark that so that you do not become attracted to women that will run you around the room, that will make you bow to her. For me, I like a woman I can be friends with and joke around with and talk shit to, because that's what brothers do. We talk shit. But a woman that still knows her place and her function. Low self-esteem women need way too much attention and direction. If you want to give out that much energy keeping low self-esteem women around you, they require a lot of attention. And they need constant direction. They can't even fucking tie their shoes without asking, how to tie the fucking shoe up. Naturally submissive women, they give. They give from their hearts. Low self-esteem women do not give. You may think that they do, but they're just as bad as the fiery ones. If they're in the mood, they will do something for you. Or you have to tell them to do something, which is not the way it should be. You shouldn't have to tell your female that you need to eat. She should be asking you, are you hungry, baby? Can I get you some food? But low self-esteem women, it's all about them and how they feel. Submissive women, it's all 100% about you. And that's the difference between submissive women and low self-esteem women. Submissive women have the ability to empathize with you and connect with you on a emphatic level, or empathy level. Empathy. They connect into you. They can read your every mood. Low self-esteem women are too busy worrying about how bad they feel and how much weight they've gained. And I've had some fine women that had low self-esteem that they gained a pound. They felt too ugly to even have sex. These were anorexic types that I used to date, just right borderline anorexics. And one girl, I'm sure she was anorexic. She was pretty thin. But so when you fellas say that I only date thick women, that is not true. I have dated some pretty in shape, fit women and some thin women and women of all sizes. I just prefer thick women. I prefer curvy women because real women, as that movie said, have curves. So you have to decide what kind of woman that you want. Either you want submissive, someone submissive to you, or you want just a strong female. Now, as I tried to explain to you, a submissive woman doesn't mean that she's weak. I know a female who is submissive to me, who is a very strong individual. She would eat the rest of you, most of you fellas up, because you are not at that level of male energy that she requires. She only seeks out alpha males, and to the rest of them, she just rolls her eyes at them. So I have found that submissive women are actually very strong women. A few years ago, I was with a submissive female. In fact, her I am combos will be inside my book also. She was into the whole bondage thing, and she was only looking for alpha males. And this woman, I thought she was so hard she was a dyke, but it was all a facade. She was actually just a strong woman who didn't want anyone approaching her who wasn't strong also. And she would blow off just about every brother in the club, and they all try to step up to her. And she was looking for one certain type of alpha male, and I just happened to catch her eye. So if I can give that to you fellas, that is what I want to do. If you're open to receiving that, if you're open to growing in the area of being more masculine and being a man, if you're open to making the changes and doing the work that it takes to get there. But we have to be careful that we don't get involved in what's called busy making. I see a lot of some of the fellas, rather words. I use that word a lot, that phrase a lot. It's actually only a few of the fellas. I see a couple of the guys doing what's called busy making, which means they're posting all these journals about their lives, but nothing gets done. They're doing this and this and this, and nothing gets done. And they're spending their energy writing stuff instead of doing. And being a man is about doing, going out there in the world and doing things. That's what a man is, and that's what a man can do. We can do. We have the aggressive energy that allows us to do things. Women are receptive. They are a receiver of energy, and they sit there and they wait. Their energy is to pull in. Our energy is to go and move in directions. So that's why I said a lot of the fellas have too much female energy. That's why you're still sitting there. You haven't tapped into your male energy that makes you want to get up and do, that makes you want to go over and approach. So at the end of the week, this week, I'll have my final hypnosis CD up on the site. And this one, as I said the other day, I took the work from a well-known hypnotist, a guy who has a lot of books out there, William W. Hewitt. And I used the script and I adapted it to our purpose. And I've used the scripts before. I've used the scripts I've been doing this for a long time, these type of hypnosis CDs. Some of you guys thought I was a newbie at it, but I'm not. I've worked in this area for getting people to control their diet. There was my MAC makeup girl, she was under stress and her skin blew up. So, for a woman who was an esthetician, that's just ridiculous. She had went out into the business world and started her salon at this big hair place here in town, and she got stressed. So after listening to my CD, her skin cleared up. So I've had lots of successes with my hypnosis stuff. I am just now bringing it into this business. But I use it all the time in my personal weight training business and my healing and metaphysical business stuff that I do. So, as I said, I'm not a beginner. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this way back in the 70s. And back then I did go to school for this, and I got a little certificate from this place that used to be here in Sacramento. And I did start to practice it back then. I was selling some tapes, little cassette tapes of hypnosis tapes. If you guys ever been around the hypnosis community, you remember all the guys back then. They used little tapes, and you would create your tape for your client, and they would come in. You give them the session, and you give them the tape to take with them, and they take it home and work on it, and they would improve. I wasn't going down the direction of becoming a hypnotist, because I also switched over to radio school. I'm also a graduate of National Broadcasting School that used to be out there. I believe they did close up. I was a student of Bobo Connors, if anybody's ever been in radio long enough to recognize that name. And I've done so many things in my life. I'm a second level Reiki practitioner. I work with healing energy, and I've had very good success with that. There was one of my clients, she was suffering from a brain tumor, and we were able to, through modern medicine and whatever else you want to put it, because I know a lot of guys are stuck in that hardcore world. Basically, her brain tumor stopped growing. So, I don't know what it was, but I was help facilitate that. Let's put it that way. I've done so much things. The only reason why I stopped doing the healing stuff is because my little brother died of cancer, and I was doing healing on him. And I would take my table over there, and I'd lay him down, and he would say, "Whatever you're doing is making me feel weird." But it did allow him to die peacefully instead of painfully. And I kind of left the whole thing for a little while because, as you guys know, I went through that whole bad period of losing him. Put on 40 pounds. Actually, it was more than that. It was 60 pounds, but I took some of it off, and as of yesterday, I now have to take it all off because my triglycerides are through the roof, and I'm borderline diabetic now, like my pops. So luckily I caught it in time, and I can make the changes and get my shit back to where it used to be, lean and mean, and out there creating stuff for myself. And that's what I want you fellas to be, lean and mean, and out there creating a life for yourselves. Until next time, fellas.